Hi guys, welcome to today's lesson. I'm going to be covering basic place value. I'm going to start by using the three digits 3, 5 and 2. What I would like you to do is to make as many 3-digit numbers as you possibly can. Have a go. Okay, so hopefully you've got these ones. 253, 235, 352, 325, 532, 523. So when you have 3 digits and you are making a 3-digit number, there are 6 different combinations or 6 different numbers that we can make. I guess what I'm trying to get at here is with 3 different digits, depending on where I put the number 2 will depend on the size of the number. For example, if I put the number 2 first, we make 253. If I put the 2 at the end here, for example, I've made either 352 or 532. These two numbers are bigger than that first number that we spoke about. Now this leads into the importance of place value. That means where I put the number in a particular order will change its value. Okay, now hopefully you will recognize the number. I'm going to use the number 152, and the way you say it is 152. So we've actually got 3 different numbers here. The 1 means 100. Therefore, that column we would refer to as the hundreds column. The 5 means 50, which is what we call the tens column, because 5 times 10 is 50. And the 2 is what we often refer to as either the units column, or sometimes we refer it to as the ones column. You may even see people might expand 152 up into 2 different numbers. It could be 100 plus 50 plus 2. That means the same as 152. Likewise, you may see them write this: 1 times 100 plus 5 times 10 plus 2 times 1. And they often put those in brackets, which again is exactly the same as what's above. 1 times 100 is 100. 5 times 10 is 50. 2 times 1 is 2. And again you can see the hundreds column, the tens column, and the ones column. So place value is exceptionally important when we talk about Hindu Arabic numbers, or in other words, our own number system. What else do you think there is after the tens column and the hundreds column? So I'm going to write out, my apologies there, I'll write out a little bit of a box here, and I'm going to put in a really big number. Okay, I'm going to put in 1,352,456. Okay, I should have really spread that out a little bit, so my apologies. So I'm just going to spread that a bit more. 1,352,576. Okay, and what I'm going to do, I'm going to look at the value of each of those numbers in terms of place value. Okay, actually I might put 0.0 there, because I don't want to have anything after that decimal point. Okay, so we've already looked at the tens column. We've looked at the, oops, that's my bad. That was the units column, wasn't it? And then the tens column. Then we looked at the hundreds column. So what comes after 100? Well, hopefully you would have said the thousands column, and then the 10,000s column. What do you reckon comes after that? Well, after 10 comes 100, and then it's thousands, and then we have the millions column. Alright, so what this reads as 1,352,576. So we've now looked at more than just the units, the tens, the hundreds. We've also now expanded to the thousands, 10,000s, 100,000s, and the millions column. So what type of questions can we get? Okay, they're pretty basic questions. They might ask you, for example, they might say, write 5,523 as an expanded number or an expanded notation. So what that would read as either one of the two following: 5,000 plus 500 plus 20 plus 3. Or you could also write it as 5 times 1,000, because it's the thousands column, plus 5 times 100, because it's the hundreds column, plus 2 times 10, because it's the tens column, and plus 3 times 1, the ones column. And generally what I would do is then put brackets around each of those individually, and that means exactly what it is above. So that's one type of question they can ask you. The other type of question they could say, write the basic numeral for, and they might write something like this: 3 times 10,000 plus 2 times 100 plus 5 times 10, oops, that should be a plus there, plus 2 times 1. Now, they could ask you to write this in the basic form or as a basic numeral. So this is obviously opposite to what we did above. It just wants us to write the number. So what does this mean? Well, this number here means 30,000, because 3 times 10,000 is 30,000. If it helps you, you can even write that underneath. Plus, 2 times 100 is 200, 5 times 10 is 50, 2 times 1 is 2. What you'll notice, I made this question slightly more challenging because I didn't put any thousands in there. Okay, so how could we write this as a number? Well, we remember, and again, I guess if you wanted to, if you found this a little bit difficult, you could write this as a little table if you wished. So put numbers in, and you could start by saying that this would be the thousands, so 10,000s column, because it's 10,000. This could be the thousands column, this could be the hundreds, this could be the tens, and this could be the ones column. Now, if you found this difficult, certainly drawing that table out could really help you, because how many lots of 10,000 do I have? Well, I've got 3. How much lots of 1,000 do I have? Well, I've got 0. I've got none of those. How many hundreds? I've got 2 of those. How many tens? Well, I've got 5 of those. And how many 2s have I got? Well, I've only got, so how many 1s have I got? I've got 2 of those. So we now make the number 30,252. So that's another style of question that we can be asked. Okay. Now, my last thing I'm going to do is, this is just a tiny little bit of extension work, where we won't be doing too much of this in class, but I did think I might throw it in, is if I've got, let's say, the hundreds, and then I've got the tens, and then I've got the units or the ones in my columns there, what do you think, if that's my decimal point, what comes after the units, the tens, the hundreds? For example, I might have 532.4. Now later on we'll be expanding into this and saying, well, this is actually called the tenths column. Then after the tenths we have the hundredth column. Then we have the thousandth column. And these are all numbers that are less than 1 unit or 1 whole number. Okay, they start leading us into decimals and fractions and those type of numbers. And again, you know, in this question, if I was asked, for example, how many tenths are there in this question, in this number, 532.4, he would say there are 4 tenths, or you could write it as 4 tenths like that. But that's extension. I'm only going to talk about it there because I'll be leading that into those harder questions when we do the next unit on decimals. I hope this made a bit of sense to you. It should be fairly basic work. Make sure you look at the examples in the book that I have given you and answer some of those questions. Have a great day, guys.